Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of what happened to my voice there? The ManDem United podcast, the podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. So please keep all your comments, all your questions, Manchester United related, please, people. United currently struggling, man. We struggling on the pitch. We struggling in the boardroom. We struggling off the pitch. Fans are struggling. Amorim, can he turn around his poor form? He is under severe pressure. Should he be sacked now? Should he be sacked if we go out to Lyon? Should he be sacked if we don't win the Europa League? Should he be given time because these players are so bad? There's so much conversation surrounding Amorim in particular. That's why I put his name in the title. I've let people know where I stand, and I will continue to, and I will be answering questions from the chat as always as well. But before we get into all things Manchester United, please make sure you run up the likes. Hit the like button on the video. Make sure you do so. Share this out across all the socials as well. And That's Me Flawless at Sarcasm City TV, Twitter and Instagram. You see it there on the screen. That's Me Flawless at Sarcasm City TV. So please retweet and like on Twitter, share from the Instagram, and just as important, make sure you subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City. The notification bell as well, people. Road to 15,000 subscribers. Big up to Warrior J as always, because he's been kind enough to put some quotes in the chat, and there ain't really too many, which is pleasing, because I expected a whole 2-pack double CD album, people. That's what I was expecting for. Big up to Kaneki in the cut as well. Yes, man. What are you saying, Kaneki? You good?
89 GA and top 4. Yeah, flawless. Believe flawless. Yeah, that was what was said in August. Believe flawless. 89 GA and top 4. And we can do it. We're Man United flawless.
Yo, we all get things wrong. I expected us to improve under this manager and to get a bounce and scam our way up the table, and it didn't work out.
I said it wouldn't happen. I said it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, it's cool, man. You and everyone who told me was right. I called that completely wrong, but hey, yo, we moved. But before we continue, big up to Shine, big up Lucian, big up Nephew in the chat as well. Let's see what's going on here. So this is Manchester United goalkeeper Andre Onana. Doesn't know whether he'll be recalled against Lyon on Thursday. Bayindir was unconvincing during his audition at St. James's Park, but sources have indicated Onana is unsure he will be recalled to the starting team to face Lyon at Old Trafford. This is from the MEN. So MEN isn't the most reliable source, but let's talk about this as if it is hypothetically true, people. Let's talk about this as if this
if that source said trust me, bro, I'd have believed them.
Yeah. So like, let's say, because do I think it's true? Probably not. But let's say it is. Here's how bad Onana has been, and how bad the mistakes were against Lyon and the lead up to the mistakes against Lyon and everything he said. Like he's even doubting himself. Bear in mind, this is a man that all season long, including under this manager, has been making mistakes and costing us goals consistently. In a terrible season, he's been one of our worst players. But because it was so bad, what happened at Lyon and everything that happened beforehand, he's even doubting himself. People, let this be a lesson to you. Because let me just clarify this. I think there's no way in hell that he doesn't start that game. He starts it 100%. And people will say, oh, Bayindir played poorly against Newcastle, and Bayindir didn't play well. But let's say Bayindir was exceptional against Newcastle. We won the game, and he was, or even if we lost the game, but he was man of the match. He put in a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 performance in that game. I still think that Onana is starting. And there's nothing to indicate that he's going to get dropped. But because he was so bad, and like I said in particular, what's really rattled him is what the comments that he made beforehand. That's what's really affected. This ain't about the mistakes on the pitch. This is why you hear rubbish from the manager talking about a mental break. And just let this be a lesson to people. Sure, sometimes it's just best to say nothing, especially when you don't have the ability or the skill set to back up whatever you're talking about. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what is going on? You ran your mouth like you was the guy, and we all knew you were due, before you go, Kaneki, you was due a mistake anyway, because it had been a long time.
We made the
mistake that had cost Manchester United a goal, so you was due anyway. I was already thinking, and I had already said, I believe, before he made.
No, you did the last 3 shows.
Yeah, I said it beforehand that he's probably going to make a mistake in one of these two legs because he was due one. However, as soon as he said what he said and he had the back and forth with Matic, it was odds on. I don't know if bookmakers I know you can bet on things like that, but if the book actually had, and let's say the bookmakers had a Onana mistake to cost Manchester United a goal, that would have been the lowest odds ever. You would have had to put on £1,000 to get back 10 pence. That's the type of odds it would have been. They would have been like, yeah, we ain't even taking bets on this because we all knew he was going to make a
You said
mistake.
it on Saeed's channel. You said it on Rance's channel. You said it on the last two ManDem, and then on the game. You said it you said it on the stream when the game started, and he then went on to, like, you said it 5 times before the whistle was even blown, like, just on different shows on different channels. You just repeated the same thing after he made that statement. He's going to. You want to know what this reminds me of? They remind me of Harry Maguire. Remember that season? Well, obviously the manager keeps picking me, so I'm obviously doing something right. And then he went on and got Ollie sacked.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. That's it. And that's another lesson of especially when you're playing professional sport at the highest level, let your football do the talking. You don't have to chat to the media. If you perform well, that shuts everybody up. So now everybody who's criticizing Onana, if he goes and has a stellar performance against Leon, you know what that does? Shuts everybody up who was criticizing you in particular about that game. And if he continues in that vein, and let's say his form continues in the league to get him results, and let's say he actually contributes significantly to Manchester United winning the Europa League, and we look at it and go, right, after that Leon first leg, Onana was one of our best players. He was very good in the second leg. He was very good across the two semi-final legs, and he was very good in the final. That's how you shut people up. That's where you can go. That's where, like, and then when they interview you, say, I let my football do the talking. I'm very glad that I just contributed to Manchester United winning the Europa League. And I get off his case. He contributes to us significantly and plays well and helps us win the Europa League. I go, hey, Onana, I didn't think you had the ability. Props to you.
Keylor Navas made a mistake. This was when Real Madrid wanted David De Gea. Keylor Navas made a mistake against Athletic Club, and it was all the whole David De Gea links.
Yeah.
Navas never came out and tweeted, "Oh, you're going to see." Navas kept his mouth quiet. 1 league and 3 Champions Leagues later. Really? Like, this entire shit coming out right now, I'm like, Leon are horrible.
Yeah, you was right about that.
Yeah? Leon are horrible. Every counter that Man United didn't fail to score because Leon's defense was tidy. Man United failed to score because we had that Satan's favorite trio up top.
Yeah.
Okay? That's why we never scored. If Newcastle had played against that Leon would have picked up 7.
Oh yeah, they would have ran through them. Anyone in the top 8 in the Premier League, I think, rolls through them. Any team in the top 8.
And that's just it. That's just it. This whole, because Steve brought this up to me on that people were asking if I was going at King and rants on this, on them being Amorim out. I don't police fans. I don't police fans. What would I have to go against them being Amorim out? The reason why I'm not Amorim out is because I said that these group of players would have failed to hit top 10 in August.
Yeah, you despise your and that's people conveniently not listening to you, because you never said at any point that anybody was wrong for being Amorim out. You're on the players, whereas the difference between me and you, even though we're on the same thought process, as much as I don't rate the players, I look at the board.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
That's who I'm blaming.
Yeah,
that's who I'm blaming. That's who I'm blaming out 1,000%. Because you're like, okay, the manager should be doing this. I'm going to ask you this. You work in construction, and you're supposed to build a framework for a house. You positioned everything. The foundation is there, and you're positioning everything. The board that the construction company giving you, though, is infested. No matter how much you hammer it, no matter how much you set that foundation straight, you want to know what's going to happen? It's bound to collapse. The moment pressure reaches that house, it will collapse. The rain falls too hard, the breeze blows too tough, that house will collapse like a deck of cards. Is it my fault for using the board that you gave me to build that house? Like, you gave me poor quality. Everybody's trying to say we have better quality. What better quality? Look at this team and understand that Our best playmaker was sent to Chelsea. One of our best wingbacks was sold. Like, if we had brought in Amorim in August, do we sell Palestri? No.
That's the
You want to
crazy
know who
part.
we
You know
could
what?
use right now?
We probably don't sell Palestri, and he could
Yep.
probably put it this way, he'd be better than Dalot. I say
No,
that much.
Palestri would have definitely been in the team over Delo. If
He would
he
have been
was
better than
here,
Dalot. I say that much.
how do you think it would have looked? Even though I don't rate him at all, what it would look like if instead of Garnacho's hospital passes into Rasmus Højlund, you had Sancho literally putting the ball on his feet, like
Sancho
what we're
deserves
watching
to.
him do at Chelsea for Jackson. Like, understand, Sancho isn't on is on that much assist because Jackson kept missing. There was a point where Sancho had played Jackson through on goal 8 times, 8 times, and he missed. What would it look like if we had Alvaro Fernandez in our team same way? Yeah? Alvaro Fernandez same way, who can play right wing back and left wing back, who we sent to Benfica. This club kept a manager that should have never have stayed here. All he kept doing was adding more shit to the shit that was always here. These man scammed. I told you already. The difference between us last season and us this season is an average of what, five wins? How far were we off? How
We
far
gonna
were
be
we
way off.
off?
I tell you now.
Off 14th last season.
I tell you now. Give me a second. I'm just pulling up the table. Give me one sec. Right. How far are we off 14th? So 14th was on 46 points. We ended on 60. So it's 14 points.
14 points.
Yeah. Wait, is that right? Yeah, 14. Yeah.
14 points. You do the math, that's five, call that 5 wins.
Yeah.
So we were 4 losses and a draw away from 14. Now, do you know how hard it is?
Now we're on 30. Sorry, go on, carry on. We're on 38.
No. I'm saying what you want to say so I can continue.
Nah, go on, fam. Say your piece.
Okay. So we were 4 wins away. We were ahead of 14th by 4 wins. Do you know how easy it is to cover to cover that in this league? Put it like this. Arsenal were 1 win away from a league title. And right now they're 5 wins away from a league title. What, they're like 15 points behind Liverpool now? 15, 16 points behind Liverpool? They went from
they are, I'll tell you now. We can do that 1 second. So give me a sec. 60. So Liverpool are on 76 points. Arsenal are on 63. So 13.
How much are they on? Yeah, 13.
76 to 63.
Yeah, so basically, as I said, 5 wins.
Man. I'm not a complete dunce. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. No, but that's it. See, 5 wins.
I struggled with that. Go on.
5 wins. Do you know how hard it is to maintain that in the league? Oh, we were 4 wins. We were 5 wins ahead of 14th last season. Can you maintain that 5 win next year? Arsenal just needed to just improve 1 game to be title winners. Look how hard it was to just try and catch up to 1 win. You thought you could hold 5 wins. You thought you could hold 5 wins. Look at these players. You were 5 wins better than 14th. And where are we right now? 14th. You wanna know why? Them 5 wins caught up with us.
I know all we have to do is just do two or three.
What? The worst West Ham team in existence. Yeah? A very crap Crystal Palace. Yeah? Who else beat us? A struggling Fulham. Yeah? Like, look at the losses that we had. We lost to Brighton that hadn't won a game in 5. Brighton were 1 win in 5.
And that's where my issue lies with this manager in regards to, I'm not asking for top 4, top 6, not even necessarily top 8. I'm just asking for Kaneki better. All I'm asking for is the basics.
It's the reason why
just be a competent unit. Number 1.
You are correct.
2, back-to-back wins. Number 3, drop players who are not playing well. Things I would expect myself to do. When it comes to that, I'm not asking him to do anything extra special. I'm asking of you what I would ask of me. Now, if you was going for a league title, that's a whole different conversation.
No, that's a whole different
thing that
argument.
I can't fathom, and you have to be much more intricate, and it's fine margins, and you have to be very meticulous with your decision making and things of that nature. That I get. We're not even talking that. We're not talking about winning the league, challenging top 4, top 6. I'm just asking for back-to-back wins. Wolves just won 4 games in a row. Ironically, big up Ryan G in the cup, big up Joe Sell as well, big up
everybody in the
Wolves
chat
have just
as well.
won 4. So if Wolves can win 4 games in a row, I don't think it's too much to ask Manchester United to go, yeah, you know what? You lot can win 3 games in a row at some point. That's it. Because the crazy part is why I don't like the whole, teams have better players than us. If we had any of those teams, the same people defending Amorim and his team for these poor results, if we had any of the players around us like their teams, if we had Wolves or Crystal Palace players, they would complain the same way. The team's
no, it would have been worse. It would have been worse.
They would complain way and say, the team's not good enough, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, the team's not good enough. And the problem with it is because I was getting a lot of flack for it because I wasn't upset. It was the Arsenal Man United Yardman thing show that we had.
Crossover.
Where they were like,
big up TJ as well.
Yeah, big up, he's in chat, big up TJ in chat. Everybody was like, everybody was like, why am I not upset? Why am I not upset? Like, he's a so-called Man United fan. Well, because I support Real Madrid as well. They're like, oh, look at him. He just doesn't care. I'm like, fam, I said where Man United would have finished and they're proving me right. Why am I upset that you proved me right? Why would I waste my energy to be upset that an incompetent team had incompetent performances and placed us somewhere where that shows their level? Everybody's saying with Amorim, okay, let me put Hansi Flick in at Manchester United during that period. Do you think Man United would have been 4th in the league if Hansi Flick was here?
No, I just think we would just be. I think to me, like I said, it's just about Bell.
No,
that's all.
It is better.
I'm just on the do better train. But go on, carry on.
But how I'm looking at it is this: we got rid of everything that that helped us perform last season. I'm still questioning why Harry Maguire outlived Raphael Varane. I still can't understand how Harry Maguire outlived Raphael Varane. I don't get that.
Anyone, Lindelof been here 8 years and all types of nonsense.
We sat here and watched Alvaro Fernandez have a good loan spell and come back when we need a left back, and you decided that Luke Shaw, who can't stay fit for love or money, was our starting left back, and
that was Alvaro. Them decisions would have been made by Ten Hag.
No, it's Ten Hag. No, what I'm trying to say is this. I'm trying to say that this entire mess was the board and Ten Hag. Yeah, the board and Ten Hag. Yeah, nephew. Yeah, Flawless's nephew. Lindelof has been here 8 years. We signed Lindelof a year after Eric Bailly.
Yeah, because he was
2017, 20. Yeah, he's a Mourinho signing. Mourinho wanted what was his name, Kostas Manolas, and the board said no. At the time, because after Eric Bailly, that season when we signed Lindelof, he was looking at Koulibaly, Kostas Manolas.
That's what they said.
Kostas Manolas and what's that other centre back's name? He played for Inter. I think he's still at Inter Milan. Is it Skriniar?
Is it Bastoni? Oh, Skriniar.
No, Skriniar. Yeah, no, this is back in 2017 time. This was when these guys were just coming up. It was Skriniar. Mourinho wanted one out of those 3 and they told him no. So he ended up with Victor Lindelof, ball playing centre back tax and that. Anyways, so I'm looking at this right now and I'm like, we're suffering because of other people's mistakes. Why am I not going fully in on like the managers? Because I don't care. Yeah, I literally do not care, bro. I said that this team would be where they are. They are where they are. No manager would have come in and made this. Any manager would have made this a lot better. We were 4 points off 4th. When Amorim came here, Chelsea were in a title race. Yeah, when Amorim came here, Arsenal and Chelsea were comfortably in a title race.
You're looking more so at the fall off of
fall off of everybody.
Of everybody. Yeah.
Because let's not act like when Amorim came here, our run of fixture was just Ipswich. was
it
just
wasn't.
Ipswich, Southampton. Like this man came here. We had Arsenal, then Spurs, then Manchester City, then Liverpool, then Newcastle, then Brighton, then Arsenal again in the FA Cup. Yeah. Then a resurgence Fulham. Yeah. Like this, it was nothing but tough fixtures. Nothing but tough fixtures coming up. Fixtures that any other manager that took over the club would lose. Any other manager that took over the club would lose. Let's not forget this. We played an Arsenal team. We played an Arsenal that were what? 4 points off Liverpool. It's TJ in chat. Can someone correct me on that? When Amorim came here, when we played Arsenal and they beat us 2-0, didn't that put them like 1 point behind Liverpool?
I remember. Hey man, don't know about TJ or Arsenal fan.
No, so that's how I'm looking at it. I'm like, we went on a doing an entire list where the games were coming thick and fast. We had to play Arsenal. Then we had a FA Cup game against Arsenal. Then we had the Carabao Cup against Spurs. Then we had Newcastle. Then we had Brighton. Then we had this. Then we had that. Like there was not one easy game in none of them fixtures. There were not one game in that fixtures where I could say, the manager should have easily have won 5 out of 5.
Nah, to me, it's not a 5 out of 5. Like I said, I reiterate.
No, because they're trying to say that, we were 4 points. And I'm like, don't make it like
no,
that.
It's not 5 out of 5.
It was 4. Yeah. No, because what they're trying to exaggerate this 4 points thing and it's pissing me off. But we were just 4 points. And I'm like, yeah, look on their fixture list when he came here. Look at the fixture matches. Let me just bring up that fixture list as well. Let me just bring up that fixture list because it pisses me off whenever I hear it because I'm like, you guys are making it sound like he came here and was told you have to play, you have to go up against Plymouth Argyle, yeah? You had to go up against Dagenham and Redbridge, yeah? Then Shamrock Rovers. Like they make it sound like, oh yeah, that was our fixture list. That was definitely the fixture list Amorim came into and died. So I'm going to go back to it. Shout out that super chat. Amorim being found out now. 5 at the back.
So big up to Mark. Hey, Mark, first and foremost, big up for the super chat. Appreciate you. Big up to Mark Harris for the super chat. He says, Amorim being found out now 5 at the back, sack him. Here the thing is, people, and I reiterate this, and again, to anyone who watches me on a regular basis, I appreciate it, whether that's daily, every other day, etc. You lot support heavy. I've been saying the same things. I can't get mad at Mark for saying this. I understand.
No, I'm not angry. You have all right to do this.
No. I'm not you lot. I'm just explaining, like, in regards to, even though I'm not Amorim out, I understand why Mark is saying this because
everybody has a right to this.
All the metrics, he's giving people enough ammunition to say this. So I get it. Why Mark's saying this. So Mark, I'm not even gonna say you wrong. I hear it. Big up for the super chat. I appreciate it.
Here's the fixture list.
Your point, TJ said it was around that Kaneki when you was talking about
thank you, TJ. Because I just wanted to make sure I wasn't right. So this is the fixture list that Amorim came into. So Arsenal, the Emirates, Nottingham Forest that were on a 7-game win streak, Victoria Pilsen, Manchester City.
You did well in Europe, actually. You did very well in Europe.
Manchester City at the Etihad, Spurs in the EFL Cup, Bournemouth that were sat 4th in the league, Wolves that just beat. What was it? Who did they beat during this time? Because Wolves were on a 3-game win streak this time.
Well, go on,
Newcastle, Newcastle, Liverpool, Arsenal in the FA Cup. That was the fixture list. Now, as I said before, we lost to Arsenal. We lost to a Nottingham Forest team that were on 7 wins. We beat Manchester City that were poor. We lost to Tottenham Hotspur. Thank you, Onana. Was Onana in goal that game or was it buy-in day? I don't even give a shit. We lost 4-3 in the
understand
EFL
your point. Oh, wait, the Carabao Cup, it was
buy-in there. Yeah.
It was buy-in there.
We lost to Bournemouth that were sat 4th. Bournemouth that literally palmed Arsenal. That Bournemouth. We lost 3-0 to them. Then we lost 2-0 to Wolves that were on a resurgent. We lost to Newcastle that were comfortably sat. That were in a top 4 race as well, and then we drew to Liverpool.
Nice.
All right, literally, We went through some of the.
You got a sick memory. He says we beat Leicester and drew with Spurs, then played Hughes and won 2-0. That's Ryan Hughes, a Wolves fan. So that's that's crazy how you remember that. That's mad. Go
Flawless.
on.
My memory is weird. My memory is weird.
Yeah,
my memory is weird. I can remember this, but if I put down my phone, I will forget where it is.
Yeah. I hear you. Do your thing.
It's just that when I'm looking at it now and they're like 4 points, and I'm like, okay, where was the 4 points here? So Arsenal, Nottingham Forest, Manchester City, and Bournemouth. Those were our 4 games in the league.
You reckon people overestimated
it, Flawless.
Okay.
You make 4 points. 4 points is like Manchester City won the league by 100 points. Why didn't Manchester City? Why hasn't Man City won the league by 100 points again? Do you know how hard it is to retain wins? Do you know how hard it is to retain wins? Manchester City won the league against Liverpool by 1 point. 1 point. Then the next season, again. Do you know how difficult that was to retain that 1 game win they had at Liverpool? That 1 game, Liverpool damn near went in the league almost invincible. 1 draw. It wasn't even a win that gave City the league. It was a draw. It was a draw. Then the next time, Liverpool won the league. You want to know why? City couldn't hold on to that 1 draw. Then it went on again. City now had to try and retain wins now. They retained a 5 win. Then it dwindled down to 4 wins. Then it dwindled down to 3 wins. Now Liverpool are about to win the league again. You want to know why? City can't retain wins. Look at Arsenal. Arsenal literally went from being 1 game from winning the league to now, as I said before, 5 wins away. It is hard to retain wins in a league when you as a team are inconsistent. You're saying, 4 points. How difficult was it? It took Manchester United, Manchester City, lose, and a draw. It took us 5 Premier League games to get 4 points. 5 Premier League games to get 4 points.
That stinks, man. That's on the manager. That stinks. Lord of mercy, that stinks.
So you coming out here trying to tell me we were 4 points. It took us 5 games to get 4 points. Why are you shocked that we are in the league where we are right now? Why are you guys shocked?
That stinks, man. That stinks.
Because you're trying to tell me the manager, against Bournemouth, every single goal we conceded was individual errors. The 3 games we got outplayed in under Amorim, we've been outplayed in 3 games. Arsenal 2-0, granted set pieces, but they outplayed us. They outplayed us on the set pieces, and the other 2 games were Newcastle. Every other game we've played, we failed to capitalize. Like the game we lost against Newcastle, the 4-1, we literally had 1 less shot on target than them. They ended the game with 6 shots on target. We had 5. We did not get outplayed. We weren't getting outplayed. It's just that they made less errors than we did. The personnel are the issues, and I'm like, the personnel that we had before that would have helped us this season were gotten rid of by the previous manager. Fam, I don't rate Amrabat as anybody else. You want to know who I would love in our midfield right now? Amrabat. Because unlike Ugarte, Amrabat could at least pass. Amrabat could at least drive forward.
He's more competent on the ball than the guy.
Call it more competent. Yeah, I'd have loved if we had had.
When I say more competent, no, you're right in passing. I'm just talking about like receiving the ball and things.
You're facts on that.
He's much more comfortable on the ball than
right now. I would have loved us to have Fred as a pressing trigger in our midfield instead of Bruno. I'd have loved to have had Fred.
Let Fred run around in the 8.
Straight up, I'd have loved to know that on our right wing, we have a midfielder. We have someone there, a midfielder or a winger, as what he had before with Quinda, that could cross a ball in Pelestri. You want to know what Pelestri always did whenever he played with us? Whenever he played for us? Cross the ball. He was very good at crossing. He had all the crosses unlocked. We sold him. You know who I would love to see as an inside 10 this season? Zidane Iqbal. Because the few Europa League games we've played and had him in our starting 11, he's played well. We got rid of him. Jadon Sancho, that was out here getting man of the match against PSG. PSG kicked him out and sent him to Chelsea. Everything that would have made us better, was gotten rid of by the previous regime.
So you're saying if they would have done what they were supposed to in the summer and got rid of Ten Hag and brought in Amorim with the players we've had, some of the players before you go, but with some of the players who we've got rid of, and then you add in more, he would have been in a better situation. I hear you.
It would have been flawless. Yeah, it would have been a way better, way better. Because let's say it was Amorim. I don't think it was Amorim, because I would have wanted us to go for Hansi Flick. I don't give a shit how much Barcelona I do. I would have sat down with Hansi Flick, told him a blank check, put how much you want here, and get Hansi Flick at Manchester United. All right? He came, Ten Hag, say that Amorim, no, let's just say this. Amorim came in hypothetically in the summer. We would not have signed Ugarte. We would have never have signed him. We would have never have signed him. Going into that season, we would have had Diego De Lo and Palestri as our right wing back option, Alvaro Fernandez and Malacia as our left wing back options. Varane would have probably still been here as well, with the addition of Lenny Euro. I think we would have signed Lenny Euro overall, but we would have had Rafael Varane, De Ligt, Mazzuari, and Lenny Euro on our defense. That's a far better defense than what we have right now. Granted, even with Lissandro Martinez, I don't care. Our double pivot would have been Amrabat, who would have cost us 9 million. Amrabat, Casemiro, and let's say we would have still signed Ugarte. Let's say we still signed Ugarte.
Yeah.
So Ugarte, Amrabat, and Casemiro. Casemiro. McTominay is still here, because I don't think they would. I don't think Amorim would have wanted to sell Scott McTominay. But let's say we still sell him now. We still sell him. You go and look at that team now. Immediately flawless. That team is that team is no stronger. That team is no way stronger.
No, I hear you. In regards to if you're gonna go get a manager who plays a back three, the players you are talking about could have done some. Like I would rather, because I'm at this point where I've been saying for the longest, play the youngsters. I think the youngsters do better. That's why That's why I'm not in agreement when people say, "Oh, he can't do no better. There's no one else." I think that's rubbish, because I will state this again: the few youngsters who have played have actually done well. Heaven, when he's played, has done well.
Heaven has surprised me.
Hamas did all right in his first game in a tough scenario. Cheeto did all right in the limited minutes. That's 4. Why not try?
I've known of Cheeto from early. I've known of Cheeto from early. Heaven is somebody. He shocked me, because I never expected him to be as good as he was when he started to come through now. Now. But what I loved about it with Heaven is that he has so much experience in defense around him. So I know he's protected. I know he has Casemiro in his ears, like, you're doing good here, but listen to what I need you to do now. When you drive forward, don't try and drive through the middle. You can the ball will get taken from you here. Stay wide. You and Dorgu need to make a link up right here. Like, you can see our defense coaching him on the pitch, game by game, and we watched Heaven get better. I'm saying this now. The position that we need experience in, we don't have it. Yeah? And let's say that we're Amorim here. So our attacking three would have been Jadon Sancho, Amad Diallo, and Xerxes. So that would have been it. Or Anthony, Amad Diallo, Xerxes. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, we would have had a way stronger squad with enough depth to have rectified at least 4 of these losses that I'm looking at my screen. That's how I'm looking at it like now, flawless.
Yeah, we definitely could be doing
with it. Say we don't lose with that team, we wouldn't have lost to Wolves. Let's say we would have drawn to Crystal Palace, to Bournemouth. Guess what? That's 4 points, flawless. There's the 4 points that we lost. With that team, we wouldn't have drawn to Ipswich. We would have beaten Ipswich. Yeah? We could have probably have beaten Chelsea. Guess what that is now, flawless? That's another 4 points. That's no, we just covered 8 points just like that. You weakened this squad. You got rid of players, did not replace them. Right now, yeah? You kept issues in the squad. Rashford left. Rashford is now out at Aston Villa doing the same shit he did here. What's Rashford doing differently at Aston Villa? Nothing. He's not doing nothing different.
It's just effort. That's the way he's doing that. That's the big difference, is the effort.
So how I'm looking at it now is that you're trying to blame this brother now for say, oh, he got rid of these players, okay? And what did we have with them here? Rashford was playing games. Anthony was playing games. None of them were contributing at all to the team in the slightest. Rashford's best game was Everton. That was his best game. 4-0 to Everton. After that, he did nothing. Literally did nothing. Literally did nothing. He's still doing it. Okay, that's how I'm looking at it right now. He got rid of Rashford. He got rid of Anthony. He didn't. And the board literally told him this: we spend money in January. That's less money in the summer. He had to pick. What would you rather do now?
Well, if that's the case, then I didn't know that. So if that is the case, then
that's what they took. The leaks. Yeah, the leaks. Who's leaking these news, guys? I thought we got rid of the leak with Pogba. Who's leaking this information? Why do I know this? There's literally multiple articles coming out saying that that he had to choose. Choose it now. They want him to build up the transfer value of some players that they want out of the club. So they're like, if we sign players in January, that's less money in the summer. So he prioritized the summer transfer window than the January transfer window. So what they told him to do was to lessen the wages. Do you think he got rid of Rashford and Anthony because, oh yeah, he never wanted them here? It was what the board told him to do. Lessen the wage structure so we can get a certain amount of surplus of money. Because if you remember correctly, Ineos coming out saying we were poorly operating and we would have been broke. They're trying to lessen our wage structure, so they got rid of two of our highest earners in Anthony and Rashford. They were never going to replace them because they told Amorim they're not going to replace them. He signed off on it because they're like, since we reduced the wage structure, it's now more money for you in the summer. He had to bite the bullet and do it. I'm not defending him here, people. Let's just break that clear. I'm not defending Amorim here. I'd have taken the risk. I wouldn't have gotten rid of Rashford and Anthony because I realized that this club lacks depth. I wouldn't have gotten rid of him. But he took a chance. He's like, yo, more money in the transfer window that I can have to try and fix this team. I'm not going to get angry at somebody taking risk. I'm not angry at him for taking the risk because Rashford ain't doing shit. And Anthony, granted he's in La Liga, he's playing well. Literally, Anthony went from a $20 million winger to Betis planning to give us 50 million for him.
And to people hyping that up, let's be real and let's call this out, as I always do. 99% of people are not watching Betis week in, week out to be like, oh, he's so much better. I've watched Betis probably more than most. Is he playing better? Yes. I've watched Betis on a couple of occasions. However, let's not act like, he's prime Cafu or he's prime Philip Lahm, or something like that. Or, well, let me use right wingers. Let's not act like he's prime Arjen Robben. That's what I'll say.
Don't even go Iron Robin. These men are acting like this brother is freaking Fergusi. Fergusi when he was at Valencia. Is that his name?
Who did you say?
Is it Fugazi? What's his name? Well, no, I'm trying to remember his name. Hold on. No, forgive me. I think I messed up his name.
No, it's cool. I'm guessing you don't rate him the fact you called him Fugazi.
No. He's class. He was at Valencia. What do you mean?
Oh, he's class. What year? When we talking, is this recent or is this an older player?
It's a older player. Valencia 2015.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember their
team. Let me get to this, and before we carry on, hey, you lot, there's over 50 people in the building. Let's get up to 50 likes.
That's his name. Thank you, Fuguli. Cool. Just sometime when he plays, I had to call him Fugazi, brother, because some of the things he was doing was fake.
I know. That's why I laughed, because I know you would have slandered him and used that name. But before we continue, hey, everyone who's locked in, there's over 50 of you lot in the building live right now. Big up. Let's get up to
Luke in chat. Man. Big up for that. At least at least I know that people here actually have ball knowledge. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. You immediately know who it was, brother. This guy was fake at Valencia at one point.
Yeah, let me get to this though. But yeah, people, there's over 50 in the live right now. Let's get up to 50 likes, people. Let's hit that like button. You're clearly here enjoying the content. Hit that like button. Let's get up to 50 likes. Make sure you've hit the subscribe button. Sarcasm City TV road to 15K as well. Make sure you hit the notification bell when you do so. Continue to get your questions in. Of course, if you're kind enough to super chat like Mark, I'll get to it as well. For Madison, who says, I get why people are blaming Amorim. I'm done with him if he starts Onana, Højlund, and Garnacho versus Newcastle. He dropped Højlund and Onana. Big up to you, Madison, because me and you have many conversations surrounding Manchester United and surrounding this. Again, I understand it because playing Onana, Højlund, Garnacho, not against Newcastle like you mentioned, but just playing them consistently is a problem. And I don't even think he dropped them because he rested them for the more important time. We don't call that drop. We call that rested. He didn't drop them. Now they're dropped if they don't start against Leon. That's when I take back my words and say, hey, you know what? Nah. He was no. He actually dropped them. You're resting them.
Wait, is Xerxes out?
Yeah, Xerxes done. Yeah, he's injured. He's out. He's out. Yeah, Xerxes out. And that's where my issue lies because Troops mentioned it, did he drop them? No, he did he drop them? No, he's resting them. He's resting them because he perceives these players to be his stronger players. Because we all know Onana going to play. It's going to be Onana. It's going to be Maz, Yoro. Maguire will probably play if he's fit. If not, Lindelof, Dalot, Dorgu, Casemiro, Agate, Bruno, Garnacho, Højlund. That's going to be the 11, and that's horrible. And hey, the thing is, Madison, I hear you because you say now he's starting them, especially after Xerxes done and buying their Howler. I think even if those two played well in the game, he still don't start them. He still don't start. Because he didn't play Xerxes. He didn't start Xerxes in the Manchester derby, and then he didn't start him in the first game against Leon Evil. 2 games where Højlund performed poorly, where Garnacho performed poorly. He rates these players. They're his guys. For whatever reason, they are saying, wait, Onana's his guy. He rested Onana. No, he dropped Onana. No, he rested him. Because I guarantee you this. If Onana plays well in that Leon game and we win the game, he plays against Newcastle. He said it himself. Mental break.
Yeah, he did say it.
Him. You deserve no protection. Go out there and suffer. This is your fault. Go out, scratch that. Go out there and perform. You made this bed, lie in it. You made this environment and made this a thing surrounding you where the Newcastle fans would have been in your case. It's on you. Go out there and perform. You are, yes, it's mentally tough, but you are compensated extremely well financially to put up with that mental struggle and that mental battle. This is why you are paid 100K, 150K. Whatever he's on, you're not paid £1. You're not out there, you're not out there on minimum wage. You're not getting paid £10 to play. You're getting paid £50. You are out thousands of pounds a week. You are a multi-millionaire, multi-thousandaire, whatever you want to call him. You are paid very well to deal with these difficult situations. Go deal with it. Mental break my back for. Are you going to play him? Outrageous. And yeah, to your point, Madison, we're basically effed. Yes.
Yep.
And that's what it is.
And
in regards to the lineup, I'm just hoping Maino and Ericsson can get on the pitch and do something, and Bruno can do something. Go on.
And it's just the whole thing where I laugh when I'm seeing it right now because, as I said this suffering is going to continue and it's long going to continue because what this shows you the lack of intelligence of Man United fans. When I say, why are we getting rid of the facilitators in our team and keeping players in our team that no one plays well with? When you're looking at this Man United team, Bruno Fernandes has been playing beside of Rasmus Højlund for damn near 2 years. Bruno doesn't know how Rasmus Højlund play at all. Bruno doesn't. The same way how Bruno Fernandes would pass the ball to Rashford, it's the same pass he's doing to Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund cannot play like Marcus Rashford. When I'm looking at this whole entire team, I'm like, there is no chemistry with anybody in this team at all, especially when it comes down to the starters. The best chemistry we have in the team is Xerxes and Amad Diallo. That's the best chemistry we have in attacking wise at Manchester United. It's Xerxes and Amad Diallo. Literally just Xerxes and Amad Diallo. Xerxes has more chemistry with Dorgu than Garnacho. And Garnacho's played more games beside of Dorgu than Xerxes. There is no chemistry in this team. No one knows how anyone plays. Literally, no one knows how anyone plays. And this, as I said before, should start being a fine. Any manager right now that comes in and falls in love with the shit players should have his wage deducted.
I agree.
Any manager that comes in, say that Amorim does get sacked at the end of the season. If the next manager comes in and falls in love with Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho, immediately wage deduction.
Facts. Immediately, yo. Immediately. If they're still here, whoever kept them should be immediately removed. Yep. And then the manager should
Everybody that kept them should, fam, wage deduction are fired. If you come in and you're like, yeah, man, and they ask you, what do you think about Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho? Yeah, I can work with them. You can't get the job. If your first acknowledgement is I'll keep them, you do not get the Manchester United job. I am sorry. What we have at Man United, because this is one of the main reasons why this whole shit has failed. You have players that can't do better than Man United at Manchester United. Am I the only one that hates this? I'm sorry. I don't want a player that's at my club saying, I'm at the pinnacle of football. No, you're not, bro. The pinnacle of football is Real Madrid and Barcelona, bro. That's the pinnacle of football. Man United is not the pinnacle of football. This ain't 2008, bro. This ain't 2008, where we were, three Champions Leagues behind Barcelona. Yeah? And 4 Champions League off Real Madrid. We ain't at the pinnacle of football, bro. This ain't 2008. You come to Man United, you should be here to make everybody better. Because you're saying, I want to play at Man United like you're trying to get a move to Real Madrid.
And I'm tired of when there's conversations surrounding players at Manchester United. The current ones, it's always, what can we do for them? We're always, how can we help them? We can revive them. We can get, so like players who are not so much the last 2 windows, but before that, when we're signing players, it's, we can get the best out of such and such. We can turn his career around. Wait. How about what you can do for us? How about we are the employer, you are the employee. When you go for a job just in life, it's not about what they can do for you. When you go to the interview, it's about what you can do for them. Like, that's the whole point. You are the employee, they are the employer, and this is Manchester United. Why are we on cut to saving whole settings? Or maybe we can get the most out of such, and we can get a player back to what he was last year or 2 years ago, or we can see his potential even though he's been poor for 2 years. But no, go sign players that we look at, hey, what can they do for us?
What can they do for us?
For example, like Cunha. Everyone can see Cunha's a quality player pretty much. There'll be someone out there doing rating because someone's always got to be different. But we can all see Cunha's a quality player. If Manchester United were to sign Cunha in the summer, not saying it happens, this is hypothetical, people, even though I want it to, we know exactly what he does for us. We know what the quality he possesses, what he brings to us, and how much he would improve Manchester United. This is why we want him. Same way, whether it's a Osherman, whether it's a Delap, whether it's a Gyökeres, whether it's an insert midfielder here, whether it's a wing back, whatever the case may be. There's players we look at and we go, okay, I see how you improve us. It's not about going to sign a player who's been bad for 2 years, but was good the year before that and going, oh, can we get that back? Well, yo, this is 2025 we're going into. Like, why are we talking about what man did in 2022 or 2021? Well, he was rubbish in 23, 24, and most
ManDem still out here telling me about that one Luke Shaw season where he had 0 goals and 0 assists at Southampton in 2013. Listen, when it comes on to this, and this is something where I want everybody in the chat to listen to me when I say this. I want players at Man United that make us better and make the players around them better. That is what I'm looking at here. When we sign Cunha, we can say, okay, we signed Cunha here, and we're planning on signing this guy next season. Cunha and this guy playing hand in hand now, because this guy will get the best out of Cunha. Cunha will get the best out of this guy. When these two are playing together, it will now free up this person and this person, so we can even push them even higher than how they're already performing. Quick example, Martial and Paul Pogba. I don't like bringing up these two, but I will. Martial and Paul Pogba. Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, and anyone we had on that right wing. Mason Greenwood, Dan James, Lingard. You want to know what all of those guys had in common? It's when Martial and Pogba were playing, everybody in our attack was playing better. Everybody in the attack. No. Bruno Fernandes doesn't need to be the chief creator in our midfield now. Bruno Fernandes just needs to finish off what Pogba started. There's literally a game we played. If I remember correctly, it was West Ham Pogba got the ball from Matic, skipped past Declan Rice and Suchek, played through Bruno. Bruno literally just one passed it to Rashford. Rashford then goes, passes the ball back to Bruno. Bruno scores. Who started that entire attack? Paul Pogba, because he took out three West Ham players with one move. Three West Ham players with one move, and immediately just create a counter out of nothing, and we scored. Bruno doesn't need to be as I'm playing in the 6 or in the 8 because he knows we have somebody in our team that sees everyone. Mm-hmm. Bruno doesn't need to drop back as deep as he is right now because with Pogba there, he's like, I don't need to be there. I need to make sure that when he has the ball and he turns, he immediately sees me in space.
Yes, and let me get to this as well, Kaneki. Let's go. Koya says, how can you be confident that any players like Cunha that come to United will improve you when lately it seems like players come to Manchester United and die? The reason why that is because it's a very lazy narrative when people say Manchester United players come here to United and die. Manchester United are looking for the top 1% in football in regards to we are looking for players to take us back to the very top, not just to compete for a Premier League or compete for a Champions League. That's win Premier Leagues and that's win Champions Leagues. Probably 98% of players, maybe a little less. So let's say 95% of players in football are probably not good enough to do that starting week in, week out. The players that Real Madrid, Barcelona, throw Bayern Munich in the mix, Liverpool, City, whoever you think the top 5 clubs are in Europe. So they're chasing down their domestic league and they're chasing down the Champions League. The players they are looking for is very few and far between. So in regards to players coming here and dying, no, I just think players aren't capable of reaching the standards that Manchester United require. However, we have made players much worse. I do agree with that 110%. We don't give players the best possible platform to succeed. But there's no player we've let go who's gone to the top of the game. That's why when people say that. There's no player we've let go in the past 10 years. So we'll go from 2015 to now that we've sold and they've been
technically, there's only been one. There's only been one.
Junior, who?
No, that was from early on, from 2010, not 10 years ago.
Yeah, I'm saying 15. I'm saying 2000 because 2010 we were still successful. So I'm saying in our unsuccessful period. So when we've been, word to my guy Alam, we are a deeply unserious institution, people.
Definitely.
So from 2015, I won't even count the 2 years. There's no one we've let go who has become Yamal or Rafinha or Pedri or Musiala or pick a top player here. Rudiger, for example.
Kimmich.
Kimmich.
None of them.
Like
nobody.
You pick a top player. None of them. Players have done well. Like players have left, went to Inter Milan.
Alexis Sanchez.
Sanchez
and Mkhitaryan and these guys.
Ashley Young went over there. None of these players we've let go. Chris have been phenomenal. Like that's where it is. So in regards to Cunha, the reason why I think we'll improve because players who have good players who have come here. So, like for instance, just because we're having a poor season doesn't mean everybody's been poor. Mazraoui this season has been good. He's improved.
Delete and Mazraoui have been class this season.
The lit has been good this season. Euro is now finally coming into his own. There's free off the
Dorgu looks like a good signing right now.
Yeah, Dorgu, the way people getting on his case, he looks like okay, decent signing. Heaven, for example. Example.
Casemiro, even though he's been out the team for a good bit, Casemiro still looks like the same Casemiro like that we've signed.
We've seen Xerxes come into his own. Amad
Diallo.
Yeah, like that's where it is. So the problem isn't that. That's why I'm confident about Cunha because I think he's of quality. That's why I'm confident.
Let me also address this. Ishley, is that how you pronounce it? Ishi, Aishai. I'm just going to call you Aishai. When it comes on to this, is because Man United don't really kill top quality players. What happened is we have happy to be here players. So I'm going to bring up an example to you, Ishi. The loudest voice in France's national team during their successful period was Paul Pogba. There have been so much videos of him barking at Kylian Mbappe. This is when Kylian Mbappe just started to come through, mind you. Barking at Mbappe, barking at Griezmann, barking at Pavard, barking at Sissoko. Like there were probably where he was literally in Deschamps' face. because he was out there doing foolishness. Who was it that he subbed off? He subbed off Kingsley Coman. And Pogba asked him, why would you do that when Coman was playing well? Pogba can't do what he does for France at Man United. Could you imagine what English press would have looked like if Pogba was barking at Luke Shaw? Could you imagine
like when they talk about people arguing, it's like, yo, arguments are going to happen on the football pitch.
When you have good players here, you want to know what good players have? Attitude. They have egos. They have personalities because they want to win. They want to win. You want to know what winners don't do? Sit down on a pitch, holding hands with opposition, singing Kumbaya. That's what winners don't do. They don't do this. When we signed top quality players, we signed Casemiro, and everybody kept. I remember them waiting at him because in the Carabao Cup final we won, he was going at Bruno Fernandes. I'm sorry, people. Bruno was the worst player on the pitch in that Carabao Cup final we won against Newcastle. Bruno was one of the worst players on that pitch, and Casemiro was giving him an ear to. There's games where you saw Rafael Varane literally draping up Harry Maguire. What the F are you doing? Multiple clips of him shouting at Harry Maguire. When Onana came back, when we signed Onana, and Onana, after winning the Serie A, coming here and watching Harry Maguire doing dumb shit that Inzaghi would never allow, Onana started to bark at Harry Maguire. You wanna know why? That's what winners do. When you as a winner come to Man United and you're being told, you can't do this, you can't do this, you shouldn't be out here pushing this team to go further. You should be shaking hand, eating apple crumble, singing what a wonderful world. That's what you're supposed to be doing, yeah? Over here singing somewhere over the rainbow, yeah? You are my sunshine. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Don't come to Man United and disrupt and upset the people that were here before.
Ishii never know bad intentions. Never.
No. This is not bad intentions, Ishii.
It's a good conversation. And let me get to this because you said
okay, let's go.
Ahmad Zex, Yoro, Delit, and Maz and Kassad. No, I'm not saying they're top 2%, but they're better than most.
They're better than what we have.
If all of our players or the vast majority of our players in the lineup were the level of Maz, we're not having these conversations. We're comfortably inside the top 10. Does that mean I think we're winning the league or competing for the league? No. You need better than this crop of players, in my opinion. However, this crop of players and this level is good enough to go compete. Here, the key word there, compete for top 8, top 6. So Maz can play in Europe. No one can't tell me that Maz is not a Europa League level player and above.
Maz literally was a part of that Ajax team, bro, that got them to the semi-final.
I look at them players and go, if I see you in the Europa League, I go, yeah, you're not out of place. If I see you, can you go compete for top 8, top 6? Yes. 100%.
And Ishii, I'm not.
Most of the teams in the league could have Maz, Delit, Euro, Xerxes, Ahmad. They could all, whether they get in those 11s or not, they can all pretty much make cases. Is the point I'm making. Take out the top.
This is not. I'm not debating against you.
Yeah.
I'm not debating against you. No, I know. I'm saying Ishii. I'm agreeing with you because what I'm saying is why the top players come here and die is. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo when he came here, Ishii. Literally leaked that there was a faction in the club against one of the most successful players in our club history. Ronaldo came here and there were a faction of players against Ronaldo. And in the faction of players was Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Phil Jones. Really? This is what I mean by when I say Ishii. Ronaldo came here and was like, what the fuck is this? Why is this the mentality here? We're not having this mentality. We need to change this. Ronaldo tried to change the mentality of Man United from this whole buddy friends thing to, yo, we're here to work and our job is to win. We're not winning. Everybody here is failing at their job. We need to do better. And you had fractions of players that turned against Ronaldo because he called them a bunch of failures for being at Man United and believing it's the peak of football. Why was Harry Maguire against Ronaldo? Why was Luke Shaw against Ronaldo? Why is Dean Henderson against Ronaldo? Why was Phil Jones against Cristiano Ronaldo? Why do any of these players have the right to stand on 2 foot and say, I don't agree with Cristiano Ronaldo. Who the fuck are you to do this with Ronaldo? So this is what I mean by that issue when you're saying top players come here and die because of the mentality of the players that we already have here. Alex Telles came here and in his debut season got 4 assists and 1 goal in 19 games. Literally in 19 games, 4 assists and 1 goal. Luke Shaw's best season at Man United is 33 games, 5 assists and 1 goal. We got rid of Telles. Why did we get rid of one of the best left backs on the planet for the last 5 years? When you look at it, when they say back in 2017, the best left backs in the world, Marcelo, Jordi Alba, David Alaba, Alex Telles, and Alexandro. I don't remember Luke Shaw being in the argument for top 5 left backs in the world, ever. We then go on and sign one of the best upcoming midfielders ever. We signed Paul Pogba. Did we try and say no? Paul Pogba is in this midfield. Paul Pogba and Zlatan. You want to know what no one could do at Man United? You can't argue with Zlatan. Zlatan came here to win. What did Zlatan do when he was here? Win. When we started losing the winners in the team now, Michael Carrick left, Schweinsteiger left, Wayne Rooney left. Zlatan was no longer a part of the team. No longer a part of the team. Guess what that means now? It was only Pogba's voice alone shouting at people to win. When you have 1 winners and 9 losers in the team, guess whose voice is the loudest? The 9 losers. When we're signing winners, no. Now that we're going to try and sign winners, I want the losers out of the team now. Like the players that you put up before, Ishi, Xerxes, Amad Diallo, Lenny Euro, Delete. When you look at these guys are winners. You want to know who I don't want them in a team with? Bruno Fernandes. I don't want them in a team with Harry Maguire. I don't want them in a team with Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho. When we win, if I took Bruno Fernandes out of the Man United team, do we still win the FA Cup? Yes, we do. If I took Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho out of our last 2 seasons, when we won the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, do we still win those trophies? We do. Because we were winning despite of them. We were winning despite of them. It wasn't if you take these guys out, we don't win this. We won those games in despite of them. Casemiro was our best midfielder in the FA Cup that we won. Casemiro was our best midfielder in the EFL Cup that we won. Rafael Varane was our best defender.
Yeah, Varane was. Yeah.
Like our best attacker. Amad Diallo did more in that FA Cup run than Garnacho. Amad Diallo did more. Amad Diallo was ranked 5th at Man United for wingers. Sancho and Amad Diallo were literally called the worst wingers in our club. When you look above them, a bunch of pathetics. Literally just a bunch of pathetic people above them.
That sounds like the English contingent is the problem. They think being at United is enough. They were still getting picked for international duty, no matter shit they've been. And let me just clarify this: it's not just the English contingent.
It's not just English. What his name said is Ralph Ragnick.
It's not even everything to do with them being English, because I have no problem with your passport. It's about quality. I don't want Maguire gone because he's English. I want Maguire gone because he's
horrible.
I criticize Mount because I don't think he's good enough. And then on the flip side, you see it with a Højlund who's Danish. I don't dislike Højlund because he's Danish as a player. I just still think he's good enough. Whereas Doggo on the other hand, I go, all right, let's see what you've got. Eriksen, even though he's leaving, utilize some uses. So like that's where I'm at with it. And I wanted to get to a point actually. Maddison made something about Højlund being injured. You know what it is, Maddison? I get you with Xerxes being out. As Højlund's bad, you know where I play? I just put Bruno up there. Play Bruno, play Mount, play Eriksen. Run that as the front like that and don't get people. That front three I just said is not good. But I think it's better. I think Bruno, Mount, and Eriksen is a better front three than Bruno, Garnacho, and Højlund. One, with Eriksen and Mount, there's 2 people I actually trust to control the football.
I'd put Mount.
And secondly, I'd rather
Mino and Eriksen.
I wouldn't risk Mino because he's just come back. Otherwise, I'd put him out.
Oh, yeah, right.
When I say this, I'm talking about the Leon game people as well. Run me Bruno. If someone's going to be on the end of the chance, I'd rather Bruno be on the end of the chance than Højlund. I put Bruno in the false 9. Put Bruno in the false 9. because we don't kick the ball long anyway for him to hold it up, so it don't matter. Put Bruno and then put Martin Ericsson as the 10s. That's what I'd go with against Lyon. Is it terrible? Yes.
Yes.
But is it better than that holy trinity of hell with Bruno, Garnacho, Højlund? Yes. Just someone I want on the end of the chance out of Højlund and Bruno. Actually, one thing I do with Bruno trust is for him to hit the target. If he's shooting, I'm like, yo, and he's going to do better than Højlund. So why not? Because we know what Højlund and Garnacho give us, which is absolutely fucking nothing. That's what that is. Absolutely nothing.
So,
and yes, big up to Leslie, man. Big up. And like Leslie said, big up to Max as well.
Big up everybody. So that is how I'm looking at it. To Daniel in chat that says Bruno got an assist in the final. He did. Now let me ask you that question now. If I put Ericsson in that position that Bruno was in, does Ericsson get that assist? Yes. If I put Mason Mount in that position where Bruno was in, does he get the assist? Yes. It wasn't like a Kevin De Bruyne, Trivela, and you just saw it just cut past everybody out of reach and just drop nice on Kobe Mino's foot for him to score. It wasn't no unbelievable assist. It's literally Mino is in space. You pass the ball to Mino and he whipped it. It wasn't even like, yeah, you gave him a tap in. It wasn't even a tap in. That goal was more Mino than Bruno Fernandes. That Bruno Fernandes assist reminds me of that Dani Alves pass to Messi when Messi got the ball and walked past 9 people and dinked the goalkeeper.
And to Jude, who says Ericsson is short one, bro. What do you mean, Ericsson? Jude, about Ericsson short one? What do you mean? That's it for further info.
Is it because is he injured?
No, Ericsson ain't injured. He played in the game against Newcastle, didn't go off. And to Mark, I hear you. United need to throw the first team in the bin. Play the under 23s with world-class keeper, midfielder, striker, and build from there. This current team get a game at Hackney Marshes. This current team couldn't get a game at Hackney Marshes. It's getting bad. I'm with you, Mark. I've been saying this. Play the youth players. I've been advocating. Thanks, shout out to King, because he reminded me of yesterday. He said you were saying this in like November. So from when the manager got here, I was saying this in the back end of November. But now, middle of April. So from November, December, January, February, March, April, I've been saying this almost half a year now, where I've been like, play the youngsters. And again, when they've actually played, they've done well. As bad as we were against Newcastle, I don't look at a mass and go, you are horrible.
You were the first one I actually heard.
You know what? I go one further. A mass performed better than Delo in the game.
Yeah.
I'd rather see him at right wing back than Delo. Or if you're going to play a right wing back, put Garnacho there. Let him see ball, chase ball, kick ball from the right.
Put Dorgo on the right and Amas on the left, bro. Like, do that. You were the first one that brought up Haven, actually, if I remember correctly, Flawless. When he came and you were like, at this point of bringing the youth players.
Yeah.
You said you were the first one that brought up Haven because you were like, just play Haven.
Yeah. Someone said he's left footed. I said, you know what, play him. He has literally said without seeing him, only watching comps, he can do no worse than Maguire or Lindelof played.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said.
And played very well. He played very, very in an important. Bear in mind, people, he played in the Sociedad game, which was a key game for us. Like, people don't look at it now because obviously we watched them 4-1 in a poor outfit, but we was in a bad way in that game in regards to they scored the first goal and we was 1-0. We was 1-0 down. Like, yes, we mollywopped them because they're not a good outfit, but it's still a precious situation. Why not play him? I won't play him now because Yoro's in good form and Maz is in good form. But you know, I'd actually play. Actually, I tell a lie, I would. I'd actually play Yoro. I'd try Yoro as a central.
I'll literally play him central centre back. I literally would play him like that.
Centre back and Heaven left centre back, so we don't have to see Lindelof or Maguire. And then you can put. I'd play Dorgu left and put Amas on the right, or even Garnacho as right wing back in the midfield. It is Turkey. I suppose you have to go Casanagate because there's nobody else. You go Casanagate, and then, like I said, the front three of Ericsson, Mount, Bruno. Do I like that team, people? No. Is that team horrible? Yes. But do I think it performs better than the team we're going to see? Absolutely. Because that team that is part of Højlund, no Garnacho, no Dalot. I think automatically we perform better. And no Lindelof, we perform better without those three.
And that midfield, and at least what that would do is literally just shut down the midfield. That literally would shut down the midfield. And it's something that I'm looking at right now when I'm seeing it, because I'm just looking at how weakened that parasite made this fucking team in all. Like, just looking at how much weaker this team became. Like, it wasn't the Marcus Rashford. Getting rid of Marcus Rashford and Anthony didn't weaken us. Getting rid of Raphael Varane, Fred, you got Amrabat and these man, like that's what weakened us before, because it was positions on the pitch that we had poor coverage in. Like at least in the attack, you could say, yeah, you have Anthony, Kobe Mainu, you have some youngsters that could play there, you have this that could play there. How much midfielders do we actually have?
We don't have it. That's one thing where I have sympathy, some form of sympathy with the manager, because our central midfield options are legit horrible. I don't even know what type of midfielder Kone is to even say put him in there. I don't know what type of midfielder he is. Maybe maybe in the chat you lot do. Right, because I don't know. But everywhere else I look at, I think there's youth players who can do something. Central midfield is a little bit different.
Yeah, I'm not going to even say that, because even that Kone that we signed, and I'm like,
what is he like? Is he a destroyer? Does he get on the ball? Hey, chat, I have no idea.
He is, put it like this. He would almost be like if you had fused Musa Dembele and Musa Sissoko.
Oh shit, he's press resistant and can carry the ball.
That's what he is. That is what he is.
He just press resistant and can carry the ball.
And we have the best midfielder to coach him in the game. Play him beside a Casemiro, bro.
Yeah, you play him
literally.
You can do that. Yeah, you can play him alongside Cas. Yeah.
It's look. Yeah. I don't want to hear the whole everybody's trying to say he doesn't want him to come here. Look, I don't want the youth players to be used as an excuse to not sign anybody, because I know this fucking board. It should be Kone is a +1. Go sign a midfielder. You are who said this, and it's an argument that it's been on my mind, and it's something that I'm seeing truthfully. The youth players should be +1s, not a starter. They should be +1s. It should be go out and sign Ederson, plus we have Kone in case. Go out and sign two midfielders, plus we have Kone, so that counts as 3. So that is how it is. Like, sign what we need, plus we have a youth player to make a +1. So it's not that we have 2 midfielders now. We have 3. Like, you were telling me this before, when I was like, I don't want the youth players to come in here and all of a sudden I hear
this,
we don't need this. Fam, is it because they did this? Is it because they did this with Scott McTominay back in 2017?
I get what you're saying. They are, but it's what we do have to give the new regime chance to not.
I'm not giving these niggas chances at all. I ain't giving these niggas chances. The moment you guys
as much as I'm critical of them, I have to be like, all
right. You saw the Saudis coming here to buy the club, and you decided not to let that happen. Ain't no chances, bro.
They did lie on their CV, and this is what
there ain't no chances, bro. Ain't no chances. Yeah. Watch the previous ownership turn down Brozovic, Fabinho, and Matuidi because we have Scott McTominay.
And that's where it is. But then you can't cut off your nose to spite your face by not playing your.
Yeah, you have a point.
Help you. A point. Offer it, because I knew nothing about any of them who have played beforehand. I just heard from you and others about profiles, and I said they do no worse. And they've actually came in and performed better. Like I said, as bad as we were against Newcastle, Amas was better than Dalot. He performed better. So why not play him? If he can perform better than him in that environment against one of the better sides in the league, why not try him on the other side with Dogu over the other side? Bear in mind, Dalot's been poor for weeks. Try Amas. Worst case scenario, he's as poor as Dalot. Worst case scenario. Leon, what are you telling us though, man?
Oh, shout out to Leon as well.
I'm here, man. Yeah. United right now, man. Interesting. Yeah, it's one of them. What's the main things you've been talking about?
I was out here talking about that when I was on Said's fan calling back in August and said that we'd finish outside the top 10, that I was marked for it.
Really? You said
that? I told it to Said that if we finish 9th, we overachieved this season. I said it on a fan calling, and I was proven right. Where we are in the league right now, why I'm not, because I'm not protecting Amorim. Because people were asking me if I was going at certain people, rants and these men for being Amorim out. I'm like, no, because Amorim has done enough for these men to want him gone. I'm not going to go at Amorim. I'm not going to go at people that want Amorim out when he's legitimately proven why they want him out. I'm just saying I knew these players would finish outside the top 10. And I said it in August, and they're doing exactly what I said they would have done. So what I was saying is this, when I'm saying if they had gotten rid of Eric Ten Hag when they were supposed to have gotten rid of him, our season would have been different. Because let's say we had Ruben Amorim in August, during that the transfer window, and let's say we signed the players that we did, we wouldn't have sold Palestri. Palestri would have been our right wing back this season instead of Diego Dalot. We would have had Zidane Iqbal and Jadon Sancho as two options for our inside 10s this season. All I'm looking at it is this. We got rid of the players that make everybody around them better for a bunch of individuals that don't know how anyone plays. Bruno Fernandes has been playing beside of Rasmus Højlund for 2 years. And I'm pretty sure the person that has the most assists to Rasmus Højlund isn't Bruno. Like, this is how I'm looking at it. Amorim has done way too much errors. I have not defended him at all, because every error that he's done, he's rightfully to be criticized for it. The only problem is this, is that I said before Amorim came here with these players that they won't finish in the top 10. Because everybody was saying that we were 4 points off fourth, Leon. And I'm like, do you know what that 4 points look like? Because when Amorim came here, our games were Arsenal, Manchester City, Bournemouth that were in the top 4, Nottingham Forest that were in the top 4, and Newcastle that was fighting for the top 4, and then we had Liverpool. Where was the 4 points then, bro? Like, the only guaranteed game I could probably think was Wolves, but that was a Wolves that just drew to Spurs and won against Brighton. Like, Wolves were on a 3-game win streak before they played us, while we were on a downward spiral.
Yeah. I hear that.
We were on a losing streak. But let's see that was what we were talking about.
Yeah, it's not good, man. I know he was like, obviously this whole Amorim thing going crazy. I know you will know about in regards to him being heavily criticized. Some people wanting him out. Some people saying give him time. Where do you stand with the manager currently?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
You asked me the same thing in regards to it. I am, to answer your question, like, I hear the criticism of him, like, because you can't defend what's going on. What's going on that you cannot defend. However, on the flip side, I also look at the board, because you've contributed massively towards this. Like, it is. Should the manager be doing better? Yes. Like, not getting back-to-back wins is nobody's fault by Amorim. Like, you hold the smoke for most of that. 6 wins in 21, you hold the smoke for most of that. Playing 7 defensive players with 3 attackers, knowing we struggle to score goals anyway, you hold the smoke for that. Playing the same players, you hold the smoke for that. 30% win rate, you hold the smoke for that. But I also then have to look at the people who hired you. Because clearly, like, he's going, because if this was going swimmingly well, they will be getting plaudits, the manager will be getting plaudits, players, so everyone has to hold smoke. With me, is Amorim fix the fuck up. That's where I'm at with it. But if someone says, hey, you know what, I'm Amorim out, as people have said in the chat, as King said to me yesterday, I have no pushback on that opinion whatsoever. 0. Because all the evidence suggests that he's not good enough. 0 issue. But yeah, go on, your thoughts, man.
Yeah. I'm pretty much the same, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not really gonna do the whole, you have to put him in a category of I'm in or I'm out. Like, that was, what was that? The Ten Hag and Ollie era. That went on for time.
That was that, yo.
Like, that will always be the fans in it, but yeah. Obviously, it's interesting how Kaneki was saying about he predicted outside the top 10. I've not heard that, and this is interesting because I had a similar chat with Traps one time, and he said he said he wasn't feeling Ten Hag before Ten Hag even came in. So it's interesting when people predict these things, because you know what I mean, they got good knowledge in it. For me, I just take it back to my basic standard, and it's always the fact that I don't care what you think of the squad, I don't care what you think of the structure. I'm not a basic manager who's managing further down the table, even in the Championship or in other leagues, will do better with the squad. Does this squad warrant top 6? No, I don't think it does. But this squad is not 14th. Like, there's no way this squad's 14th with that lower goal difference and 6 wins out of 21. I mean, that should never be the standard for any manager. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? So, and it's not like we've got 6 wins, but 10 games that could have gone either way, and we've been really, really unlucky. Like, even out of them 6 wins, they've not been 100% convincing anyway. So, like, yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know. I don't want to buy players for this manager, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think you've proved enough to tell me that I should just buy players that you think. I think we should buy players that are better for us. It seems like we're doing that anyway. It seems like people like Euro and Dorgu and Delit and all the ballers that have come in and that, yeah, they do seem like they're going to Zertsky. They do seem like they can outlast the manager and work in another system. But I don't know, man. Because I think I was watching Straight Jacket on Monday, and Mina made a good point that, like, even if we get 4 or 5 players, it doesn't mean that things transform. He still has to work with a section of the squad that he doesn't like anyway, or I don't know if he likes them, but they're still there. So I don't know, man. You're not doing great,
bro. He hates them, Leon.
So I think we find that out once, because it's like, why do you
think necessarily? I think he's just, I don't know. If he does connect me, then he's showing he's the wrong guy, because he's doing the 10 out thing.
See how you just said that? I don't know. That's where I'm at. That's a worrying place.
Yeah.
When I can't, whether I agree or disagree with the manager's decision, I need to be able to understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he does certain things, and I'm like, I have no explanation for this. I can't fathom your thought process. He like 10 out, like he'll do things. I mean, like Amorim will do certain things that I go, all right, I don't agree with it, but I understand to an extent why you did that. But you're doing certain things, and I'm like, that's a concern.
You're making it harder for yourself.
Yes. And
you're making an awful situation worse. And I think you're capable of doing
far better.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true, though. I don't know if that's true. Because, like, what has he shown us in this league outside of what he knew at Sporting that he's capable of doing anything better?
True.
I don't know whether that's true. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't. It doesn't mean that I wanted a Tommy Tuchel and I wanted someone that was just short term. And Tommy Tuchel would have this team in probably battling for top 6, if not in it. Like, he probably would. But you can't tell me that a Bournemouth manager, a Brighton manager can't do better with this squad. Easy. That man will come in and do the basics, and would even look like more convincing in the way we play. So, Kaneki, we're going to say something?
Yeah, what I was trying to say, what I was going to tell you is that when you're saying that these players, I want to prove it to you like this, because it's something I explained to Flawless. The difference between last season and this season, between 9th and 14, was literally 5 wins. We were 5 wins ahead of 14.
9th and 14th. Okay.
Yeah. For us last season, when we finished 9th, we were 5 wins ahead of 14. Points-wise, like, for 14 to have caught up with us, they'd need 5 wins. This team, all they had to do was retain 5 wins. All they had to do was retain 5 wins to stay out of 14. This team couldn't do that, Leon. Why I don't hold this team as highly as everybody else. I don't. As I said it before, told Saeed last year that we're going to end the season on negative goal difference. There's so much clips of me saying this. I wasn't joking.
Well, you said that on the back of last season. You said it this season again.
I said it last season and I said it this season again.
When the window closed, I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, so I said it before.
Get it with the window closed.
I literally told.
And then that room comes in and you think,
yo, the lack of like technical midfielders and the striker. Yeah. I can see why I said that, yeah.
Looking at everything, and I'm like, these players are not. I said that these players would not make it that far, because not only did they keep Ten Hag, you kept players that needed to be gotten rid of, and got rid of players that should have been in our team to be built so we could build with. I am sorry. When you're going to sign a 6'3" and 6'4" striker, you need wingers to put in crosses into the box. Why did you sell Palestri? Why did you sell Palestri?
Because we know that they didn't plan for.
We did not plan for it.
Yeah, they do. We know. Like I said, they were so indecisive. They were so undecisive on Ten Hag that has contributed to this now. Yeah, that's where it stems. Because if they want, like, one thing we say about the last regime is they were decisive with decisions. There was no deliberating. Like, once they was like, okay, a manager's gone, he's gone.
He's gone.
So it might have took him a while to actually get there, But once they made the decision, there was no long assessment period. We never heard that with the previous regime.
True. Nope.
There was no 4 or 5. You know what? We're gonna assess and see how he does and pay attention to. They didn't care about us. They wouldn't have cared about no letter or took that into consideration. They did as they pleased. In regards to, it wasn't really results and performances. They more so looked at it from a financial standpoint. But making the decisive decision can help because it clears it up, and because they dilly-dallied so long. Because to me, what were you assessing?
Yeah, because Leon, when you were saying,
what was the assessment period? You came in February, March last year.
Yeah, which guy would cost them the less money?
What was the assessment with Ten Hag? You didn't what?
There was no assessment.
I told you that. I told you they rolled the dice thinking that they wouldn't have to spend on any manager.
It's not even a dice. They flipped a coin, heads or tails.
Yeah, because here's the thing.
Go on. You think it was a money thing?
I think it's a money thing because I feel like it's being proven right now. Because if you think about it, a club that takes their manager like more serious, like if a club that takes if a club that says to a manager, this is the standard and do not go below that we don't mess around with that, doesn't keep Amorim right now either. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and could this end up being a bad season for Amorim, then he bounces back and shows us next season? It could well be, but I still believe that I need to see what you're trying to do, and I see what he's trying to do, but I need to have a bit more cojones about
the result. Yeah, the results needs to match what you're seeing.
It's not even the results, Kaneki. It's like if we had cojones about it in a game, like we're still going into games and sitting there like 2 goals down, half time, and being like
guaranteed.
May as well just finish second half. Just stop the stream. Like you know the result.
You don't do so. There's no
fight.
Know what I mean? Yeah, there's no fight.
Like how do we know when a team scores 2 against us? How confident are we we're going to score 3? We haven't been like that for years. Like,
please, the only manager that anybody was confident with that was
happens like once a season, twice a season.
When a team scores 1 against us, I ain't confident.
It's over.
1. I ain't confident we even go score 1.
I literally had us losing 4-0 to Newcastle. Bro, I had us losing 4-0 to Newcastle. I was shocked that we scored. I was shocked we scored because listen to this. Listen to it. Right? Because Leon, this is the whole thing. When people say this, when they're like, we were 4 points off top 4 when Amorim came here. I'm going to name you the fixture, the list, the games that we had, and I want you to name me a manager that would have gotten more out of these games. So when Amorim came here, we had Arsenal, Nottingham Forest, Manchester City, Bournemouth, Wolves, Newcastle, and then Liverpool. Name me a manager that would have gotten, and in those entire games, we got 4 points.
Ipswich is one. I think we should have beat Ipswich.
No, I'm saying no. That's league. I'm talking about the league from December the 4th, all the way to January 5th. These are the games.
Yeah, it's more so like I said earlier in regards to it. If he was experimenting and we was doing this, I'd give him much more leeway. He was attempting to do different things, and we'd seen youth players and different players. He's trying everything. All the tools at his disposal, even though they're not the best. We've seen literally in this 20-25 game period, we've seen combinations of everything in regards to back three, the wing backs, the pivot, the front three. If he had mixed up the front three, and we've seen some crazy front three that didn't make no type of sense on paper, hey, you know what? They're not scoring anyway.
Don't forget this man had Kobe Mino at striker. Like, don't forget he had Kobe Mino at striker.
Can I also?
Go on, Leon.
The observation as well is when I watch this team, I don't know if anyone's thought this. I can tell that Ruben Amorim is a midfielder. I think he's coaching the team. Like, I don't see from midfield to the goal. I don't see that much confidence in what he's coaching these guys, because even with a rubbish team, you would see players arrive in the right places and more of a pattern. Of course, look, we do look better than sometimes under Ten Hag in regards to like Bruno just hoofing the ball. We do work the way up, but it's still very clueless when we get to that final third. It's still very much give it to this isolated player, or like there's not much. And I just firmly believe that like managers that coach the basics will tell people to go to the byline, cut it back to the penalty, try work it into the box, look for rebounds, stuff. I don't know. I don't see it. And like, that's why I refuse that. If we're on 38 points at this stage in the season and we're hardly scoring any goals whatsoever, I don't care what the squad looks like. Like somebody can get better out of this squad because we're watching teams go further down the table that will actually come out and score a few goals against you.
I think Spurs are the second or third. I'm going to double check this third highest goal scorers in the league. Nothing about
their squad's got worse this year.
Nothing about Spurs is third best. There's nothing about Spurs. Their attack as a collective is not the third best on paper. They don't have the third best individuals. They don't have the third best striker. They don't have the top 3 10s. They don't have a top 3 right winger. They don't have a top 3 left winger. They don't have a top 3 pivot player, deep line playmaker. Fullbacks, well, Doggy's falling off a cliff this season. They don't have top 3 attacking fullbacks in this league either. So how are they third?
It's called intent. They have more intent than us. Way more intent.
Yep.
Way more intent.
Because I guarantee you, this way, as bad as Angie
playing
is,
7 defensive players with no intent is just not going to do nothing.
And that's it. It's survival thing. Because I guarantee you, with Angie, this team scores more.
It's basically like holding possession, even though we're not the best possession team, but certain times like holding possession for the sake of it. Because it's like, what are you doing with it? You may as well not have it. You may as well just pick counter attack.
And
like, what you doing with it?
You want to know what gets to me, Leon?
No
is just this.
Are we only 3 points off 17th? No way.
Yeah, we're 3 points off 17th.
No way are we.
No, he's right. We are 3 points off 17th.
No way are we 3 points off.
We are.
Oh, we are 3 points off 7. Hey, Amorim, man.
Yeah, this is the reason why I said anybody saying Amorim out, I'm not arguing with them.
Amorim, man, like, yo, I didn't know that.
All I want to say is, because I got a dip in a sec. All I want to say is,
final thoughts. Go on.
All I want to say is like, it's like a manager does have to earn his time. Of course, he's not had a full transfer window, but I need to see what you do with the tools that we give you at your disposal while you're still building towards that. And I've just got a funny feeling in the back of my, I've got a funny feeling in my stomach whereby I just feel like this is a bit of a Ten Hag-y kind of thing. I just don't think he's moaning about. I've got a feeling he's thinking the same as Ten Hag, but he's not moaning about it. In regards to, he feels like he's got to have his system the way it is, with the players that he needs, with the right profiles, with all the strengths that he needs. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, do we end up buying this guy like 8 players, then it doesn't work out, and then we start again? Like, I'm just like, I'd rather have someone that's more adaptable. I understand you got principles as a manager, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not 100% confident in it, like, because it's so bad. Like, it's the worst by a long shot out of all the managers that have been here.
Yeah.
Like, it's way worse.
And it's something that I'll never argue with. But the thing with it, Leon, before you go,
we are 3 points from 17.
Yep, the thing with it, Leon, before you go, is just this. It's because when we play, we're not. You see, if we were struggling to get into the opposition's half, Leon, I'd be more looking at the manager. But the fact is that during every game that we've lost, you could look at everything and just say, if we had a better quality here, better this here, better this here, like, right? Like, let's think about this. A lot of the games that we lost, Garnacho has played a heavy hand in them shits. Xerxes was free in the Brighton game, where we could have gone 2-0 up against Brighton if Garnacho could just looked up and pass. Like, and it's where Flawless and everybody always says you are picking these guys, which is why I say I can't defend him. No one has heard me defend him. But when I'm looking at the team and I'm like, we're not struggling to get into the opposition's half.
Exactly.
We're not struggling. What we're struggling is the players in the final third. It's the reason why I'm saying, okay, so what you're doing here, something here is clicking, because we're not struggling to get into the box.
Okay.
We're not struggling to get into the box. It's just the final product. When I'm looking at it, every goal that we've conceded, majority of it has been because of defensive errors. Like, someone's mistake has always cost us. Someone's mistake. It's never been we've just been outplayed, outcoached, out anything.
That's true.
It's always Harry Maguire mistakes. Ugarte mistakes. Onana mistakes. Like, it's mistakes. It's the fact that for every goal we concede, I'm pointing at people. You're the reason this happened. It's never been a game where I'm like, we got outplayed and everybody was playing 10 out of 10. And I'm like, manager, this is your fault. This is how I'm looking at it, Leon, when I'm saying, yo, if we were struggling like Ten Hag, we were struggling to get into the opposition's half. We were struggling defensively. We were struggling to play make. If that was the case, I would be an Amorim as hard as as how everybody else is going at him right now. But when I'm looking at it and I'm like, our defense is solid. We're actually attacking and we're actually trying to make chances. It's the individuals in the team that are costing us this. Who am I to have ever told anybody that Garnacho has missed the most key chances in the freaking league out of anybody else?
And then where my
This
issue
brother
lies,
had 9 chances to score, and we scored 0 out of them 9 chances.
and I hear that, Kaneki, but my issue is that he persists with him.
I know, and that's why I'm saying I can't defend him. That's the reason why I can't defend him. Garnacho is costing us, but you keep picking him. Rasmus Højlund is not doing anything in attack. You keep picking him. Bruno Fernandes's lapse of judgment has cost us 4 goals in the last 6 games. You keep picking him. Like these errors, Diego Delo has completed what? 4 crosses in 10 games. You keep picking him.
Mad.
So this is why I can't defend Amorim.
Kaneki, don't do that. Don't just stop. That's a horrible start. That is disgusting.
What's worse, man? The 4 crosses in 10 games are being 3 points.
What's 17. He been doing? What has he been doing?
Man? Cardio, man. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. You know what he's been doing, man. Cardio, man. See ball, chase ball, kick ball, man. That's what man's been doing.
Kaneki, I would have loved to argue about with Kaneki and say, but he's made like the top 2 interceptions in the team and recycled the ball. Shit that people coming up with.
It's
before.
the reason why I am not defending.
In 10 games.
It's the reason why I don't.
900 minutes of football.
It's the reason why I don't defend Amorim. But it's one of the reasons why you hear me look at it and I'm like, yo.
Let's just say he got subbed off 20 minutes average.
No, don't do that. Don't give him back. No subbed off. He plays 90 minutes.
Leon.
He plays 90 minutes. We don't
4 crosses in 90.
Leon, did you know that Dorgu
be better than that here? Every man
Leon, Dorgu has played more crosses into the box this season than Luke Shaw has in 2 years.
Yes, it's bad because Luke Shaw don't
I'm
play.
out.
But yo,
I'm out.
let me go to Rido. Hey, Rido,
where did you get this stats? 1 second. Where did you get that? Like,
I literally go through the games. I literally go through the games and watch it. I count everything that they do, bro. I literally have it.
It is the Kaneki, though. Kaneki, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna stick up for Bruno right now. I don't think Bruno should be added into this culmination of players that have been fucking up because Bruno's been our best player.
No, Bruno has been all right, but we're talking about how Delo we're
talking about Delo.
No, but that came after he keeps picking Bruno because Bruno. I think there was a stat that Kaneki highlighted, but. I gotta give it to Bruno for the.
No, when I'm saying he cost
Leon, how do we do? Before you go, how are we doing against Leon, man? Scoreline prediction.
No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
Nah, what do you think? Hey, Leon.
Hey, Flawless is still at this bullshit BS of Leon.
How far are we off the 65?
Leon, hold on. All the shit me and you have been back and forth about.
Nah, Flawless is bad.
Wait.
38 goals.
All the debates we've had here, all the back and forth we've had about managers and players and teams and games, and you draw the line at a quarterfinal second leg versus Leon. This is where you're like it.
Yeah, dark.
Because it's dark. The end of that game was dark, man. You know what I mean? It was dark.
The whole game was dark. But this is where you draw.
Okay, I'm going to give you 2 predictions. I'm going to give you 2 predictions. Yeah, Onana starts and if Onana don't start, yeah. Okay, that's what we're doing here.
They're both terrible, man.
If Onana starts, yeah. Because Leon is shit.
Where's my
Leon is so shit as well. If Onana starts, we go through an extra time. Yeah. Okay. Do you get extra time? Yeah, you get extra time.
Yeah, it's extra time. Yeah. Well, now
if he gets the team right, because he's messed up already.
What's the right team?
Eriksen falls 9 at this rate. It's horrible. It's disgusting.
I'd run Bruno there. I'd play Bruno there to be honest.
No. Oh my god. What, and have them 2 Muppets either side? That would be horrible.
No. I ain't playing Garnacho or Højlund. No,
you know that's going to happen if you do that. So,
we know he's going to play the Holy Trinity. It'll be Bruno, Garnacho, Højlund.
I think we'll win, but I think we're going to hold a pasting soon. Still, like we're definitely going to get a hold like Frankfurt or Atletico Bilbao. You know, like do you remember that time we played Sevilla and they were just olaying it around the pitch? Yeah. They were like, do you remember they were just hitting the ball from one side to the other, side foot, boom. Do you know what I mean?
But bear in mind, I've been saying this competition is terrible overall. It's cheeks. like as quality wise.
If
like
only you could get like mid-season transfers now and go to that Ballers League on Monday night and just grab someone for the do you know what I mean? I get PK Humble right now just for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Crazy.
Fact.
But
so you say we get past them, yeah?
You know it's going to be a disgusting scrapers game. We're probably going to not deserve to win it as well. Some nastiness, do you know what I mean? So yeah, probably a Bruno winner, something like that. I'll do that. So
accuse me of fuckery's asking for a prediction. You know that's crazy work. That is slander my good name.
I feel sick now. I'm out.
It's only right. Hey, we are big up,
blessings,
blessings every time. Blessings. Ryan, are we telling me, man? You obviously ain't spoken a minute. Hope you're blessing that.
It's been a minute.
We'll start with Amorim, man. Your fault. I actually don't know your fault.
Do you know so mad about this whole Amorim thing? Like, obviously, off late, I haven't really been tapped into football, innit? I have, but I haven't. I've been seeing bits and pieces, and recently I've been seeing the whole backlash. I heard there's a whole backlash. You know, everyone's talking about Amorim and Maresca. I think I've seen it with Maresca now. So
yeah, Maresca's having that as well. Yeah,
it's quite interesting, man. I'll keep it a buck. I see both sides in it. If he gets sacked tomorrow, I fully understand it in it. Yeah. But at the same time, I can see why, you know, it still would be nice to give him some time, give him some players and see what I want. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think it's always nice that every manager has at least some sort of backing. You could argue that, okay, cool then, but does he deserve a backing? You know what I mean? But we got to see in it because of how messed up this club is in terms of the mix of mess, like the different problems, and at the same time, him not making it the best situation out of what he's got. Cool, that could be your argument, innit? But I think, man, I think overall, I still want to, you know, see some players come in and then see Wagwan, you know what I'm saying, before we get him out, because I hear it, innit? Like, you know, like Kaneki was saying, he persists to pick certain players, like, you know what I'm saying? And yes, there's injuries, but there's still other options that at least, if we could see that you've got some sort of, you know what, my man's not patterning, boom, you're out for the day, let's put someone in. You can see that maybe he wants the best for the overall game, you know what I mean? So that's one problem I definitely have with Amorim, like, his stubbornness in certain things and whatever, but I'm still willing to at least give it a summertime. I always said that from the jump. You know, you can go on to Ineos and say whether they're going to do it or not, but here and now, Amorim, I think let's just see what going in it, but he's not making it easy. He's not making it easy for himself.
And thank you, Rhino. On your in some of your previous videos I've watched and what you said now, you have not used injuries as an excuse with him. At least you've been one that have said at least no one's trying to say, oh, he's going through injuries. You, flawless of everybody say, go to the youth academy.
Yeah.
No one here has used. Yeah, no one has used excuses of the whole injuries. And what I said about the Diego Delo is actually true. Against Newcastle, 1 accurate cross. Manchester City, no accurate cross. Nottingham Forest, 1 accurate cross. Leicester City, 2 accurate crosses. That's 4 crosses.
Poor.
So I wasn't lying about that. But what you're saying is complete. What I'm saying with the whole Bruno Fernandes thing right now, you need to understand this, okay?
Yeah.
Bruno has done errors that's led to us conceding, where if he had kept, this is my main issue with Bruno, consistently keep the ball.
Yeah.
The 4 goals we conceded against Newcastle, one of them came Bruno Fernandes, instead of trying to do that stupid pass that he always tries to do, he passes that back to Mazuari and we just start recycling that ball. That goal doesn't happen.
Oh, is that the one where Maz slipped?
Yes. So I'm looking at Bruno and I'm like, you're putting other players under pressure because of your hospital passes, which lead to us conceding. But the thing with Bruno Fernandes that I hate the most is, Rhino, you're putting in effort. I am on your channel and we're on a stream.
Yeah.
I put in just enough effort to say, well, if shit goes bad, Rhino can't blame me for why this goes bad. That's not how that works, Rhino. Bruno Fernandes gets his stat and immediately, oh, well, I got my GA. You can't blame me. That's not how that works, bro. That's not how that works. And it's what gets to me the most. I'm like, you're being told to be this chief creator now. This chief creator. You don't know how anyone plays. When you see Kevin De Bruyne on that play, how Kevin De Bruyne passes to Erling Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne doesn't make that pass for Iheanacho. He doesn't make that pass for Gabriel Jesus, and he doesn't do that with Aguero.
It's customized to the player. I hear that. Yeah.
How Bruno Fernandes pass, it's the same pass, the same way, everything for everybody. When you look at Rasmus Højlund and you're trying to pass the ball like what you passed to Anthony Martial, you can't pass how you pass to Anthony Martial to Rasmus Højlund because that's two different technical level players. I'm looking at Bruno Fernandes saying your adaptability is so bad and it's costing us because of it. When I'm blaming Bruno, I don't blame Bruno like how I blame Harry Maguire, who's cost us 90-something points in the Premier League. That's different. When I'm looking at Bruno, I'm not letting it go. This brother is 3 points away from costing us 100 points, and I'm never going to let him live that down. With Bruno Fernandes,
Kaneki is the Maguire stat. You're the one that kind of showed us that put that on the map, like, because I don't think no one clocked that stat until Kaneki said it. Still, can't even lie.
Because at the time when I was talking to you, he cost us 92 points in the league.
92. Now he's nearly on the Bills, man.
He's almost on 100. So when I'm looking at Bruno, my issue with Bruno is this: when you see Xerxes and you see Garnacho on the run of him, why are you fizzing the ball into Xerxes?
Yeah.
Did you see that 1-2 with him and Xerxes, who you saw in the Newcastle game, where Xerxes just dummied the ball directly to Bruno?
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at that and I'm like, look how Xerxes immediately knows the type of pass that you want.
Yeah,
but when you pass that ball,
he lacks it to feet, yeah.
But that's my issue with Bruno Fernandes. His adaptability to players around him. No one plays better with you, Bruno, because you refuse to learn how anyone plays. Case in point, when Bruno Fernandes came into the team when we had Pogba don't pass to Bruno the way he passes to Lingard because he knows how Bruno Fernandes would like the pass.
Yeah.
And that was to the benefit of everybody onto the team now. Because how you receive a pass will dictate how the game will go, how the counter-attack goes, how everything on that pitch will go. It's the main reason with Bruno Fernandes. I'm not going at Bruno Fernandes because everybody hate. My hatred for Bruno Fernandes stems on it's purely football. My dislike of Bruno Fernandes is purely football because you refuse to adapt to everybody around you, to learn your teammates, their positioning, where they want the ball, how they like the ball. You don't try and learn anything. You're just hit and hope. And it pisses me off because when it costs us, like against, what's the game that we played? And he's at fault for 2 goals.
Everton.
We
gave the ball away twice.
Is that no, I'm thinking of another game. I'm thinking of
the Everton game, and we ended up, and he cost us 2 goals.
Okay.
I am sorry, Rhino. I'm not going to sit here and try and defend that. Your excuse is, Bruno's like, well, I got my assist. You cost us 2 goals. I don't care about your assist. You cost us 2 goals. Your negligence just cost us. When I'm looking at Amorim in the Premier League, I'm like, reason why I say I can't defend him, you are picking these guys that are costing us. These guys are horrible. For example, look at Hansi Flick. Because I've been trying to tell everybody that if Hansi Flick came here, he'd fail as well because none of our players are good in the final third. Look at what he's doing with Yamal, Rafinha, and Lewandowski. He just shows them, I'm helping.
He's getting the tune out of Rafinha, though, because he was written off, because he was terrible at Barca.
Fam, my joke right now is that if Rafinha wins the Champions League and finish anywhere in the top 5 of a Ballon d'Or, Barcelona has to pay Leeds 60 million.
Nah, we don't need to give them scrubs no more, but no.
No, I don't know. I just find that funny. Find that funny. But when I'm putting at it like this, Hansi Flick is just putting these guys in the final third. He's not coaching them in the final third.
Oh yeah,
what Yamal does in the final third, what Rafinha does in the final, this is just them.
And again, that's basics. You get the ball to the final third, and then obviously you may give certain players like certain instructions, but you let players do what they need to do. Nephew said it in the chat. Where is it? Let me see if he start. I don't even know if H has said in the chat. He said, as you said, our club teams is belt. All we do is the basics till the final third. All I coach, and again, people, I keep using the pro clubs team because it's just one, it's hilarious and it's me being facetious and going over the top. But secondly, because it's true, we just do the basics until we get the ball in the final third. Nephew's one of the strikers. I don't coach him to do anything. I don't coach any of our attackers.
Watching you, man.
It's about just getting the ball into the final third. That's it. Bear in mind, people, let me clarify this. We're one of the best teams on there as well. We are top 130 in the world, and we have players missing. But, we move. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, and that's the thing with it is this. Us doing, and it goes back to him picking the personnel. But as I said before, if we never lost some personnel that are better in the final third for us in August, would we have been this season? If instead of Garnacho trying his best Cristiano Ronaldo impression, we had Jadon Sancho, who is a pass first player in our team, we would have probably scored more goals and probably have won more games. When we had Palestri if we had Palestri in this team on the wing, that's actually putting in more than 4 accurate crosses a game, unlike some man that has to play 5 games to have 4 accurate crosses. You have Palestri that's going to put more than 4 accurate crosses in a game. One of this might lead to goals. I'm looking at it is not that we're getting into attacking positioning on this against oppositions. So it's not the tactic. It's not that we can't play a 5-back. It's that we are not fully what's the term I'm trying to find? What's the term I'm trying to use? Is that we're not horrible attacking in the back 3. We're just not competent enough to play a solid back 3. We don't struggle in the back 3. We are making chances. Bro, we literally played Arsenal, and if it wasn't for a penalty, they wouldn't have scored against us.
Wait, which game is this?
The FA Cup I'm talking about.
The FA Cup game. Yeah.
If it wasn't for that penalty, they wouldn't have scored against us.
I get what you're saying with that. Like I say, it ties back into the manager doing foolishness. And when I said
it goes back, and why I said I will not defend him.
And you're spot on. What are you doing? What are you up to? Why you look like you just been up to no good? Where you come from?
Up to mischief, bro. Yeah, that smile.
Okay. But yeah, people, I like Def Interval says here, we're satisfied with Crumbs. A player performs extremely well in the game and no one can fault him for the next 5 to 10 matches. Before we indeed do close out, though, continue to run up the likes, hit the subscribe button. The content's not stopping, people.
That has a point.
We will be doing the Aston Intervals is spot on. We will be doing the Aston Villa PSG game. It won't be live here on the YouTube. It'll be live on the Sarcasm City TV playback. Go to www.playback.tv/Sarcasm City TV. That's playback.tv/Sarcasm City TV. Or just download the Playback app from your app store. Then, following that, people, we're back here for the sports Q&A. So we'll be recapping the 2 games tonight, people, of the Champions League. That'll be 11 p.m. UK time as well. And then there's 2 of the playing games today over on the Playback as well. NBA playoff starts later on this week, but the playing starts tonight, people. So we will be over there for Magic Hawks and Warriors Grizzlies as well. But yeah, Rhino, I'm going to go to you, man.
Yes, my bro.
We getting past Leon. Talk to me.
I'm sick and tired of saying, no, we should, I'm hoping we do, to be honest. It would have been nice to go to come back to Old Trafford with a lead at least, build on some confidence and whatever, and just take control of the game and just, take it home, you feel me? But it's going to be a dangerous game, man. Leon didn't really play as good. I think first half they were decent. Second half, they weren't as good, and maybe that could be credit to how we played as well, possibly. But I think if we do our job and everyone turns up, we should be comfortable still. But Leon can be dangerous, but they weren't that great before. So if they're carrying on that kind of form, we should be able to at least, get a goal in and get a goal or 2 and just hold the lead. You know what I mean? And hopefully no balls or mistakes. You feel me? You get me? So that's, we should be able to cut through, man. Yeah.
What you reckon convincing? You saying a 1-0 though or 2-1?
I don't think it's going to be convincing, and I think my only worry would be mistakes and just lapses of concentration and stuff like that. Things that we keep doing. Bro, I swear down, I think the Leon game I watched properly, even the new, I haven't even watched the games properly. When I'm watching the game, I'll try and lock in. I probably locked in more than I locked in with the Leon game more than Newcastle. I think after a while I thought, we're getting smoked. This is long, bruv. But yeah, man, it's just too many inconsistencies. But I am personally seeing improvements, but I think the individual mistakes are letting us down too much as well. So I just want to see some sort of stability from Ruben. You get me? Like what Kaneki was saying. If you see someone's not patterning, at least give them to show them raw what they're go on, bro, pattern up, or just take them out of the team. You know what I mean? You get me? So it's unfortunate, bro. You see someone like Xerxes. Xerxes was making that crazy run the last game, and then, bro, no one's coming to support him. To the point that the way no one's coming to support him, I'm thinking that's the reason why his hammy went, bro. Like, he's trying so hard. Like, maybe if this was someone coming around him, he might have not had to make an extra 10, 20 years.
He would have laid it off to someone or something like that.
Yeah, because he's forcing it, because he's thinking, right, you know what, I'll go alone. But, yeah, it's going to be techie. We don't even have a Zerx. I just clocked as well. So it's going to be techie, man. But hopefully we should scrape something. But I'm not confident at all, because this team, they just let us down at random times, man. And there's nothing to build on. So we're going to have to see, man. But hopefully, man, fingers crossed, man, we should be able to scrape something, hopefully get like Leon said, a Bruno goal or something. Or we might even get something different. One of our centre-backs might score or something, you know what I mean? And we just hold the lead, man. But yeah, man, I don't know. These two keepers, our keepers are bad, man. One can't use his hands and one can't use his feet. It's bad. It's peak, bro. It's bad, bro. And the way the detriment of what they can't use is so bad. Like, you get me? You might think, okay, cool, Bande can use his hands calm. We're good. At least he can save it. But the way he's kicking so bad, look at what he did the last game. You feel me? And then Onana now.
The manager should get flack for that. I am sorry. You see, if you have a goalkeeper that can't pass immediately, tell everybody, listen, you have the ball, give it to this guy. Give it to this guy, boot it up. I can't even say drop deep because we can't sustain pressure.
Heaven was helping us out, you know, when he was fit. He was helping us out.
He needs to be back in the team,
nice
bro.
balance on that side.
Yeah, he needs to be back in the team. I'm sorry. We need Heaven back.
We need him, man. He's a player.
We need Heaven back in this team. Fam, I don't rate Leon.
You saying, Kaneki? Scoreline prediction?
I don't rate Leon. It's
they were dead. I
do not rate these man. I told Flawless how they play. It's 2-0. I'm going 2-0 Manchester United, bro. It's 2-0 Manchester United. I don't care what anybody wants to say. Oh shit, I know how bad this team is. We're not losing to getting knocked out to Lyon. This piss poor Lyon team that conceded 4 goals to freaking Strasbourg, bro. I'm not listening to anybody about this. The game what we played against them, we should have been out of sight from these guys. But because Garnacho don't understand that he's shit, you know what? Let me just not re-anger myself. I'm not going to re-anger myself. I'm just going to go with a safe. Bruno Fernandes, this has to perform this game. He straight up has to perform this game. Okay? I don't care if you have to from dive, cheat, steal. I don't care. It has from lie, cheat,
I think we win the game. It won't be easy. I think we win the game 2-1. Could definitely see us going a goal down. That'd be just typical Manchester. Very similar to the Sociedad game where it's not really in it. We do some daftness like we did in the Sociedad game with the delete penalty. We got a goal down, and then we start actually playing a little bit better. The likes of Maino get on the pitch, and then we start performing better. So I'll go 2-1. I think we get through, but we're gonna close out, people. Big up to everyone that's not saying, hey, Randall, man. I know you always be working and things of that nature. Anything you want to promo before we do?
I need to get active on my channel again. I got a new mics, but I haven't tweaked all the settings and all that yet. So I'm not sure how I'm proper sounding. But
you sound clever enough.
Yeah, man. Gonna try and get back to my channel, man. But just been dealing with the music stuff, man. If you guys listen to any music, you're a fan of like just the scene in general and just good music, check out M Lizzy. That's man's artist, you feel me? Okay. We nearly hit 3 million streams on our single before as well. You get me? So that's a mad amazing moment as well. He's upcoming. He only started dropping from last April, you get me? So, you know, we just did sign with Kenny Allstar yesterday live from BBC. That should be out soon as well. And then, just been busy doing music stuff. Busy, man. But check out M Lizzy, man. I know a lot of OGs on this channel. When I bigged him up before, bro, that was early stages. Now, if you go and look at his Spotify, go and check his TikTok as well. I think he's nearly hit that probably 80k followers or 90k followers now on TikTok. So things are moving, man. So music fans, just people that are a fan of the UK scene or whatever, check out Lizzie. Yeah, man. Trust me, man. If you know, you know, man. Get me? If I buy you a Lululemon, that's from M. So you get me? I know you've heard that if you're on TikTok, you get me? So yeah, man, check him out as well. And yeah, I'm just going to just check my socials, man. I'm going to be active doing a lot of interesting things as well. We're going to be in Norwich as well in 2 weeks. We got a show in Norwich. We just did Peterborough last week. The month before that was in Leicester. So we're active as well. So you lot stay on the socials. We're going to be doing going to be on the roads as well, different shows and that. So yeah, you lot to stay locked in. I'm going to try to be active on my channel as well still. So yeah, people. Man, big up, man.
No, we'll be down in a sec. But yeah, people, yeah, make sure you check out Rhino. Everything since every social, all of that. Sorry, across
Rhino
all the
UK official, everything's there. Yeah, Snapchat, all of that. Yeah, and TikTok. Check out my TikTok, Rhino MGTV. So what I'm doing on my TikTok now, I'm going to be doing live reactions to content. So you can be like a rapper, a singer. You can have artwork. Maybe you've got a music video that's out. Rhino MGTV on TikTok. I'm doing live reactions, content reactions. So it doesn't have to be music, but preferably I'm doing music reactions. So send me your music videos, send me your unreleased music, and I'm going to give you 100% no filter feedback. You get me? If your music's crap, I'm going to tell you, bro, your music's crap. But then I'm going to also give you constructive criticism. So Rhino MGTV on TikTok. I'm going to be going live every few days or every other day. I'm going to be doing live content reactions. So make sure you guys follow me on TikTok as well.
You do so, people. You know what I'm saying? That's why big up to nephew says crazy. I got Emily playing right now. So I ain't sending him no music. I ain't trying to hear Rhino telling me that's terrible. Yeah, blessings, man. Make sure you follow Rhino across all the socials.
Yeah.
I doing big things. Big up to Kaneki. Big up Leon, who was here earlier as well. We're going to redirect over to Tony, people. Tony's live right now. Big up Tony Clark. You know he's on a
big up Tony, man. I ain't been on the show with him for time.
Yeah. Tony, you crazy individual, but big up Tony. And like I said,
quick question, for Tony, what does he think they're beating Madrid? Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
He's confident. Yeah. Okay.
He's supremely confident. You know what I'm
saying? It?
He's supremely confident. Supremely confident, you know what it's like. But yeah, we're gonna close out. We're gonna redirect over there. Just put Sarcasm City TV Raid in the chat. Like I said, we're back live in about 45 minutes, 50 minutes over on the playback, people, for that Aston Villa PSG quarterfinal second leg, people.
Today.
Yes, today. Yeah, Villa PSG today.
Tasty.
Yeah, good one. We'll be there for that. So big up. Love to everyone that's locked in. This has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV
show.
YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in.